Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo, and in a few days I am actually going to be volunteering at the National Wheelchair Basketball Championship. And I just picked up my t-shirt, and you know me, I love to make jewelry and I look for any excuse to do so. So today I'm going to be making some earrings for me to wear to this event. So my workbench is a mess right now, but when I picked up this t-shirt, I remembered that I had some beads that looked a lot like basketballs. In fact, I thought they were basketballs, but then when I found them, I'm like, well, they're not really basketballs, but they still remind me of basketballs. What do you think? So the t-shirt has black and red and blue in it, but basketballs are orange and black. So how am I going to make those beads make sense? Well, I did some digging around and I found these beads, and then I thought, you know what? I'm going to make this little form right here that looks like a basketball hoop. Now, because there's a big hole at the bottom here, I don't want it falling off of the head pin, so I needed to get an E-bead for that. So we'll add that to the mix. I've got some eye pins and ear wires. I think I'm going to need this as a form. If you don't have a ring mandrel, you can use something else that's round. I'm also going to be using this right here, but again, you can just use some round nose pliers. All right, let's get started. So I'm using 20 gauge wire. I'm just going to straighten it out here. And I want to make sure that this is cut flush, which I don't think it is. And the way you do that is you get some flush cutters, and I'm going to just trim the very tip of it in this way, and then it's even. So once you've got your wire even, I'm going to take my little plastic pliers here and straighten out a little bit. But I'm just going to make the shape of a P with my smallest stick here, like that. Okay. Oh, I have to say, these things, I would not recommend this brand. And I am normally a lot nicer than this, but these, they have a lip on there and it's hard for me to get those off. And I don't know if that's typical with all these type of pliers. Let me know if you've had issues, because I'm really curious. I thought it would wear off after a while, but it's not. Anyway, let me get this straightened a little bit. Okay, so we have our P. Is that going to be, yeah. And we got our P. Now I'm going to use my ring mandrel, and I use the size 4. And I'm just going to put this right here. And make the circle. Once I get around there, I'm just going to wrap this around. And then I'm going to clip it off. And then I'm going to get my regular pliers. And I'm just going to pinch that closed so it doesn't get caught on my hair or scratch my neck when I am wearing these. These could also make a really good little form for a necklace, and you don't want anything scratching or poking. So there's our little basketball hoop form. So now that we got the basketball hoop and the basketball, I'm just going to take, you only need one eye pin per set of earrings. But I'm going to open that up. And I'm going to hang the basketball hoop on there. like so. Close her back up. We don't want that hoop falling off. And I'm just gonna give it one more little nudge here, just to make sure that is closed. Okay, I think it's closed. All right, so we have a really fun dangle there. Now I'm going to take my little E-bead and put down on that. And then here, see, that'll keep that from falling down. And then I'm going to put the blue bead and then the red bead. There we go. And now I'm just going to wrap a loop. I could either wrap a loop or I could make an easy loop, which, I think I may just do an easy loop. Let's see. We'll just make this real simple. So the way you do that is you grab your wire and you bend it at a 90-degree angle like that. Okay. Then you take your wire cutters, and I usually take the width of my finger here, measure it, and then just clip it off. Now you want to hold on to this, otherwise it may go flying. I'm going to do this. There we go. And you know what? That's big enough to do something with at a later date. So I'm going to put that in my stash of scrap wire. And then I'm going to get my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to wrap a loop. And I'm going to be careful with my injured finger here. Okay, here we go. Just wrap it, wrap it. Just make this little loop. And there we go. And see, where's my ear wire? There it is. I don't have this totally closed yet, but that's okay because I'm opening it, and then when I close it, I'll make sure that it's all the way closed, because if you can see here, it's not all the way closed. But, you know, right now, I'm not worried about that because I do need to put the ear wire on like that. For those of you who don't know what happened to my finger, it got sewed on a sewing machine, and I actually have little fragments of needle in there, and yes, I can feel them. So it really hurts sometimes. And I do struggle, as you can tell, with this. I'm going to get this closer to my eye, so I will be back. All right, I kind of had to brace it up against my chest a little bit because I have a needle. I have two little slivers of needle in there. This part came out, but I still have a little bit, and I can feel it, and it hurts. But anyway, isn't that cool? We have a little basketball hoop and a basketball, and these will be fun to wear while I'm volunteering at the event, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be quite interesting. I went and picked up my t-shirt today, and they've got things all set up, and it looks like a really fun event. And here's the pair all ready for me to wear. And here they are on. Well, these are really cute. My little basketballs and basketball hoops. Thanks for joining me. Y'all have a great day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingos signing out for now. Bye-bye.